weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
The Ultimates #2, written by Deniz Camp, art by Juan Frigiri, colors by Federico Blee, letters by VC's Travis Lanham. I would read the recap. It's pretty long, and I don't know half of the time what's going on in this issue, and I don't think the recap can really help. What you really get in this is a couple characters that you see. It expands maybe some of the roster. It definitely does by the end, but you have what feels like something. I know that they're telling the unknown history of this dark America, but you're kind of going with it, and it's not that shocking. It's the dark history is like, oh, the Maker was involved. We know this. Oh my God, the Maker's in that giant globe. We know that. But then you have stuff like, oh, JFK was involved with Midas in an Iron Man suit. And I don't know that I thought that was that interesting. And
especially since he said it was in the 60s, like this seems to be current
JFK.
time.
So yeah, this is all old school. So what they're doing, I've seen this before. I've seen it a bunch of times where Cap has come out of the ice, and he, at the one point, they're like, "It's America isn't like it is, Cap." And he's like, "I'll give it to you." And he started fighting in that first issue, trying to get, the once over there. But when you get to this, they're like, "Okay, Cap, we're going to show you some film of all the things that happen." And a lot of times, too, in this, and I'm kind of pissed off that it doesn't happen, because I guess the Makers stopped a lot of heroes because there's no Beatles. I'm telling you, most of the time when you see this, you'll get the Beatles just like a little snippet of it, because they'll try to show the good and the bad. In this, you're seeing this history, and you get D-Day. You get atomic explosion. You get what looks like maybe, it is the globe that the Maker's in, but also then the Maker is on the moon, and then he's chumming up with JFK. Then JFK. It's nothing that wowing or shocking. It's actually an alt history that's not that alt. It is, but it isn't, and it seems really mixed up timeline. And I guess that's the play of because of the Maker. But I'm not getting what we really need to see, which would be the heroes being taken care of. Obviously, they're not going to have that on film, but still, you end up while that's going on. Hank and Janet and Iron Lad and they're just fighting in the White House trying to get to the Oval Office. And when they do, Midas is there in the gold classic
Iron Man Mark I suit. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And ends up where Tony's like, "What are you doing to my dad's armor?" And then Midas with his feet up on he's going to scrape that table too. Look at him. And he's like, "Oh, I bought it because, Norman got all the things, and then I bought it, and I'm rich, and I control things, and I'm here in the Oval Office. I'm the president." And you have Iron Lad like, "Don't fall for it, kid. He's just trying to get to you." I'm like, punch him. Do something. You're just letting him talk. And then what ends up happening, and I'm telling you, we liked the first issue enough, right? Yeah. We had some fun with it. It was a little odd, some of the things, but our biggest problem was, why did they tell Hank that in a former thing that didn't really happen was 616 that he beat his wife?
Yeah, why put that in his brain?
Yeah, why do that? I mean, if you did it in a way of like, don't do it, but it just seems like it's there in his file. This one, though, is the idea of Deniz Camp, like using an alt world as his way to grandstand of what America is. But it's not America. It's this dark America. But yet I feel like he's still trying to do social commentary, but it's not real.
It's not relevant because it's completely different.
It's completely different.
It's like a unified North America, kind of South Central America.
So instead of giving just some info through everything, it feels like it's a lot of signaling for something that isn't there. It's not real. Like you said, it's different. And so you just have Midas just talk to Cap. "Hey, you think you know America? America, that's where we sell things high and buy low. That's us. Woo!" And Cap's just standing there. Well, I mean, at one point, legitimately, his biggest weapon is a scowl. He is scowling at getting more and more mad, and I'm waiting for this big giant payoff. But then Iron Lad gets in the way. He gets pushed. It's just, it's a lot of nothing. And then when you get to the point, and again, it's like this is what America is. And then Cap will eventually go, I don't care what you say. America's better than that. And then it starts all over again. Then we go off to see maybe Charles Bronson headband wearing Punisher, just walking through destruction downtown New York City. It does look like
Charles Bronson.
Yeah, I'm like, what's happening?
And then there's dinosaurs, there's Omega Red, and then even back, okay, so it looks like Midas tried to prevent JFK's assassination, but couldn't do it on a couple pages back. Galactus with the Maker, and then what, are they mutants? I thought we didn't have mutants.
I don't know, because everything's kind of weird.
There's a Wolfman there.
There was a Wolfman or a Wolf woman. It looks like a Wolf woman. Yeah, but even then, it's like it's supposed to be.
Isn't that like Sunspot back in the back?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Or Bug Guy. It looks like this is supposed to be what you had of. Hey, didn't you get it when you had the mutants? That was actually for the equal rights and the segregation. But that's not this world. Like you wouldn't have a film of the things that were taken away by the Maker. I would think, and so it's very odd. Plus, it's odd that Midas in the Oval Office has like a jar of Mentos or something. I don't know what that is. Maybe like it's like granulated condensed cocaine. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's definitely uppers. This guy's into that.
They're all just laughing at us. they're laughing. Midas is laughing. Cap's scowling. Hank Pym is breathing heavy. He's not used to this. The pest control business did not prepare him to fight all these guys, some of which seem to be holograms. Then, like you said, you go and you see Omega Red, dinosaurs with a factory behind there. Charles Bronson.
Roxxon factory.
Yeah, Roxxon deal. Charles Bronson. But then with that, you're like, okay, that's cool. Omega Red. And oh my God, Charles Bronson. Old Charlie. And then we go back to the same things again where Midas is still yelling about stuff. And Cap is upset and finally goes at him with the shield to then just have Iron Lad explode the floor. They fall in, and then Midas, they all see a woman strapped up to an energy containment field where then Midas starts to wax poetic about her. Oh, that's the love of my life. You don't get it. She does this. She fuels that. She does that.
She's a power source for like a couple states and all sorts of stuff. And
while that's going on, there's Cap still watching these films.
Nick Fury assassinating Starks or Skrulls.
This isn't expanding the world to me. These are just odd things. And what I would have liked this to be, if you could have, we haven't set up much. I would have liked to have seen the idea, because all this stuff should be straight up propaganda, the way that people control things and all that, that you would think that it would be like, we know that the bad guys are controlling things, but this thing is showing everything's been great all along, but everything's, I don't know. I don't know why we're seeing these weird scenes. But the big thing, like I said, becomes this woman with the star containment. And by like 2 panels, if you didn't realize that it's America Chavez.
Yeah, because Cap people keep saying America.
Then you see the star. Then they keep going about the stuff. And yeah, and then like you said, then Cap's like what? And it feels like a lot of people go Clockwork Orange, but I'm going to Welcome to the Jungle video where Axel's there and he's made to watch all the destruction and all the death on the screens. That's what it is. He's just watching and getting upset. But yet I guess we're supposed to think that even with that, Captain America is still all about America.
Yeah, Cap's watching all this ultra violence, and that's
what he's doing.
Yeah,
but again, if I'm looking and I'm seeing Skrulls being killed, that looks like Secret. Is that I actually think that feels like a step backwards, because it's showing you too much of things that shouldn't have ever happened, or shouldn't have, because this is a different deal. But I don't know, because they had some 616 weird stuff before. But you end up where it's just, again, and it's America Chavez. But then we go and we see people have commandeered we go with this is the progression. Like, it's too much to see Charles Bronson Punisher, and then 2 pages later, you're railing, it looks like, on the idea of people commandeering the symbol of the Punisher in the headlines deal.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And then Cap's getting the crap kicked out of him by Midas. At one point, he's going to hit him over the head. He's stopped by Iron Lad Tony, and then you get Cap hitting him in the back, that
Yeah,
joint
he goes
in the
to
back
kill
of the
him.
neck. Yeah, he tries to go for the kill. Because again, but I'm not thinking that like all these things that he's watching are making him. I think that he's getting desensitized to it. But even then, he hits him, and the big giant payoff is Midas, who's in that stupid heavy armor, goes, I believe you broke my neck, Captain. I'm like, that's what you get? That's the payoff? And then you have Cap give him the zinger. Gold, soft metal. Like, go to hell.
I guess
So,
it is, yeah.
These aren't good
On
things.
the hardness scale, I guess it is soft.
I'm going to tell you right now, on the hardness scale, reading this issue, I am limp as hell. That's my hardness scale. He ends up then says, yes, now you see whatever you do, however things fall, I profit. What? I see you there probably crapping your pants in a big gold armor.
Yeah, I mean, you're like a quadriplegic now, dude. I don't know.
And even then he says, like, dire consequences, her energy. I'm like, who cares about that? You can't walk.
Yeah.
And he goes, I am Midas. Everything I touch turns to gold. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. It's what I'm like. Just because you're Midas and you use the phrase, you're laying on the ground, and you there's no way he's getting up, even if he could walk or whatever with that. That's too heavy. But from there, they just go to save this girl, and it is America Chavez, and the big zinger is she. And even Midas, she is so out of it that she fuels us, but she doesn't know her name. She can't even say her name. But by the way, America is great. America, 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 America. Then you get at the end where they save her, and as they walk out, they're beat the crap. I mean, Cap is destroyed. Janet's like the elongated woman. She's holding Hank, and then the big play is, I think I know her name. America, she says. And I'm like, that is a very forced, almost cringe ending for this. And I have liked most of the, Ultimate stuff. Black Panther, a little boring, but I can't say it's awful.
No, it's well constructed, good
People
story.
may disagree with us. This was bad.
I'm low, man.
Bad. It ended up where it was just forced.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to fit in the thing you're showing. It even promised to see, hey, the dark history of, it's just nothing. I didn't get anything from it. I was hoping to learn more about the overall scope of things and where you had this or that. And I find out, JFK still died, but Midas then took over. And now he's the president because money buys. And America's all about greed. And you got this and that. Ooh-wee. But what would you give it?
Yeah, to me, this book is trying to do way too much stuff.
Yeah, it's a mess.
If Hickman were writing this, it would be brilliant. Like, it would be everything we want to see, world building, all that stuff. But I don't think this team is creative, is good enough to handle this. Yeah, this is a big task, and they're falling very short. So for that, I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 4, and I think that Deniz Camp is trying to go really big, like almost like he wants this to be his Watchmen or something. He's just not that good. He's not Alan Moore. He's like Dennis Less. He's just lesser, and this is a jumbled mess.
They're shooting too high. You didn't need to go this big.
Too just over the top. And it just doesn't feel right.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.